Watch Symposium. I'm Austin. All right, so part 2 of Dan's collection review. And in part 1, link in the description, check it out. We talked about his Rolex watches. And here's his total collection. Now we're going to look at his non-Rolex pieces on the right there, the Breitling and the 2 Hublots. And just to reiterate his questions, let me know what I need to do and how much it would cost. And more than anything, I would like your take on each watch, if they will keep their current value in the near future or come down. All right, so looking at his non-Rolex pieces, the first we have is the Breitling Super Ocean. And this is a 44 millimeter watch, and it's a chronograph. In fact, he loves chronographs like I like GMTs. I mean, he's got 7 of his 11 watches as chronographs. And you know, this is a beautiful watch. It's too big for me. It's 44 millimeters, and you know, when I'm faced with a 44 millimeter watch, I always say, well, they should make it 42. And if I'm faced with a 42 millimeter, I always say they should make it 40. 40 is my sweet spot. But if you like big watches, this is a great one, and it's an attractive watch and very usable on the rubber strap. As far as value retention, well, it retails for $7,665 USD, but you can get them for as low as $5,160 on Chrono 24. So, you know, I think Breitling is probably not the best brand to buy if you're looking to retain value, but look, this is a beautiful watch, usable watch, and I think that's probably why he bought it. So, you know, I like the date placement, by the way. All right, so moving on to the Hublots. Now he's got a Hublot titanium blue Big Bang. That's a 45 millimeter watch. Got a 50-hour power reserve. Retails for 25,000 USD. And you know, both of his Hublots are skeletonized, which is really nice. I mean, I'm not a Hublot fan, but if you are, being able to see the inner workings of your chronograph is pretty cool. And you know, as far as value retention goes with titanium blue, you can buy them on Chrono for less, about 9,000 less than they sell for retail. Again, retail, they're 25 grand. So, you know, I'm not sure if he bought this pre-owned or retail. My guess is retail. And, you know, some people might say you should have bought that pre-owned, but yeah, I mean, if you're archery luxury, then buying pre-owned is the way to go. He doesn't get hung up on little things like, you know, if it has this box or these papers, at least not with his Rolex. I don't think he was that vexed about that kind of thing. Whether it's polished or not, he didn't really care about that. Whether it's polished by a third party, doesn't really care about that. I care about those things very much. I mean, I go for non-polished pieces. I think box and papers are great to have. It really makes you feel great when you have a complete set. So I can understand just saying, all right, I know when I walk out the door I'm going to lose money on this watch, but I just want it brand new. And if I could go back to, you know, the mid 1990s, early 2000s, I would be buying brand new Rolex watches, okay? Because at the end of the day, you forget about the money, but you don't forget about whether, you know, the piece is polished or not, and that can bother you. And you know, having said that, the flip side of the coin is my very polished piece. It's not badly polished, I wouldn't put it that way, but my Explorer 2, I just have so much fun with that watch because I've totally let go as far as babying the watch. So anyway, my whole point there is that. Yeah, I think there's merits to buying a new watch, even if it loses money, because you know exactly what you're getting, you know exactly the history of the watch, and you don't have to worry about anything. So perhaps that's worth it. But you know, as far as getting out of that watch, it would cost you. All right, and then we get to his most recent purchase, the Hublot Sarai, and this is an interesting watch. So this is a limited edition, and take note, Grand Seiko Omega, this is how you do a limited edition. This is 100 pieces. It's not 7,000, it's not 1,000, it's 100 pieces. That's limited edition, and it's totally going to sell out. I mean, of all the billions of people in the world, can you find 100 that want this watch? Absolutely. So that's the way to do a limited edition. Thank you very much. Thank you for doing it right, Hublot. You know, when it comes to this watch, I'm not a Hublot fan again, but this is a beautiful watch, and I love the sort of safari colors and safari vibe to it. This is probably my favorite Hublot ever. You know, I would give it like a solid 8 out of 10, whereas I would give most Hublots probably like a 4 out of 10. They're just not my brand, but this is a really cool Hublot, and it's got a, you know, a meaning to it. Sarai stands for Save Our Rhino, Africa, India, and this is, well, let me read about it, okay? And apparently 2/3 of rhinos may disappear in our lifetime, and this was made to, you know, to give money, charity for orphaned rhinos, saving baby rhinos. I mean, you gotta love that, right? And look, I don't want to be cynical and say, you know, Hublot doesn't care about rhino. They just want to pull on our heartstrings. No, who cares? They're paying for the babies, so good on them for doing that. And it's partnered with Kevin Peterson, which is a cricketer, and again, a large portion, their words, of this money is gonna fund care for orphan baby rhinos. So, boy, I love the environment, and I'm a tree hugger, so I get behind that. It's 45 millimeter watch, 72-hour power reserve, 25,000 USD, and you know, let's talk about value retention with this watch. Well, all right, this watch, I could not find one for sale on the internet. So if you want to order one from the internet as of this moment, it doesn't appear to be possible. There's not a single one on Chrono24. So that's a good sign. Now, you know, 100 watches. You know, my only concern with this is Hublot, I think, is a relatively trendy brand, and so I'm not sure how well this is going to age. You know, I think if you're looking to get out of this watch and make a quick buck, I think probably now is the time to flip it. You'd have the only watch on Chrono24. I mean, I could imagine putting like a crazy price and just seeing if people, you know, paid you for it. But you know, if you know, hang on to the watch, I can understand that too. But again, because of the trendiness of this brand, I'm not sure how well it's going to age. So, you know, will people care about this watch in a year, in 5 years, in 10 years? You know, Hublot might come out with more limited editions, and are people gonna just kind of forget about this? And if so, deciding to sell it for 25 grand, people might just be like, yeah, you know, it's kind of old news. And the people that I think very often buy Hublots, they're trendy people, and they want the new and the fashionable watches, and so 10 years from now, for them to go for this watch, I'm not sure. You know, could you find a subset of people that love rhinos and Hublots? Maybe, right? I mean, it's only 100 watches, so that's a good thing. But I question how this watch will age, and I just don't know. It's just a big question mark for me. Viewers, weigh in on this. I'm curious what your thought is, because we have nothing to work on. I mean, you can't even buy this watch on the internet through Chrono24 right now. So I don't even know what kind of price I would put if I was trying to flip it, but you wouldn't want to sell it too low. I wouldn't put 30. I would, you know, I'd put quite a price. But again, in the future, how will it age? I'm not sure. If you sell it now, you could probably make a quick buck. If you hold on to it, who knows? I mean, with the future, I mean, this could just blow up, but you know, it could tank. So I don't know, but I would keep a steady pulse on this watch and how it fares on the internet, and if it ever turns up on Chrono24. Anyway, very, very interesting purchase, and it's beautiful. Again, it's it's skeletonized, and you can see the column wheel right there. It's a great watch, and as far as, you know, your two Hublots go, you've got one to hoard and one to wear. And boy, I know how that is and how that can satisfy you. And I think clearly the Sarai would be the one to just break out occasionally and wear sparingly. But when it comes to your, daily beater Hublot, well, that would be the titanium blue. I mean, you're not gonna be selling that watch anytime soon. All right, so there we go. Now let's just look at the big picture. We're looking at all 11 watches, and I gotta say, in the last video, I think I was a little too hard on him when it comes to the Daytonas, the steel Daytonas. I said something like you want to buy retail, and I believe that. I think that's true, especially when you're thinking about value retention. But as far as getting a steel ceramic Daytona right now, he did pretty damn well, I gotta say. I mean, if you just want that watch, you're probably not going to find it for what he paid for either of these watches. So I think that's probably a good thing. I just wanted to clarify that. What should he sell? Well, I don't think he should sell anything. I think the pieces that he could sell, he would take a loss on, and then there are pieces that he should hang on to, like the Hulk and the two steel ceramic Daytonas. So I really wouldn't do anything. I mean, there are things like the two-tone Datejust that you're probably better off using and enjoying, and hopefully you like this watch. And getting out of that watch will cost you. And I think a lot of the precious metal professional models, it'll cost you to get out of those. So look, ostensibly you bought them because you like them, and I think that's the way to look at those pieces. As far as going forward, if you're planning on buying more contemporary pieces, I really would put that diamond dial two-tone Datejust back on, go to that AD, assuming you got it at an AD, and lean on them. Try to develop that relationship, because you want to stop paying over retail for your pieces, especially if you're going new. And you like new pieces, apparently, so I would try to develop that relationship if you can. It sucks that we're here, that the person behind the counter, some dude selling these watches, some grubby middleman, you gotta cozy up to him. You gotta smile. You gotta be liked. It sucks that we're here, but we are. And the fact of the matter is, for these top-of-the-line steel professional pieces, if they don't like you, they won't sell to you, because there are tons of people lining up ready to buy these pieces, so they're going to pick people that they like. So you got to play the schmoozing game. It sucks, but strap on that two-tone Datejust, go and schmooze, and try to get your foot in the door if you want to go forward and you want to get more contemporary pieces. If I were you, I would focus, again, if you want contemporary pieces, on steel. The Sea Dweller steel, again, some of the steel three-handers. Look, I recommended in the last video maybe going 5-digit vintage pre-ceramic. I really don't think that's your style. So continue on with your new watches, but just try to buy wisely. That means retail, all right? And, stepping back again, looking at the whole collection, this is a very new money collection. So if you want to put an old money vibe, Patek might be a good idea. You could get a vintage Patek chronograph. I think Archie's looking to get a 5170. That could be an awesome option. That would give it sort of an air of old money. And you love chronographs. And look, I mean, you're spending tens of thousands on Hublots, so I think you could probably pull off a Patek. And you got the Rolexes. I think a real F-off collection like this needs a Patek chronograph. Source a vintage one, box papers. Make a hunt of it, and that could be fun. And I think that would bring a little class to this collection, right? So, Dan, thank you again for this, and comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about what I said. Let Dan know what you think you might want to do going forward. Air your grievances, whatever. Just throw some comments in. Be sure to like and subscribe this video. And hey, if you want a collection review yourself, or if you want a custom video, check out the information in this video in the description, and you'll know how to make it happen. Take care. Thanks for watching. See you next time.